Do you like mysteries? To wander through the enigmatic mist of the inexplicable? Great. I'm Merc, and here you'll find what you're looking for. Welcome to my domains. The truth dissolves into the mist.
There are creatures that haunt the edges of our vision, and then there are those that seem to defy the very logic of the living world. The Krasue belongs to the second category. Imagine a woman's face, beautiful yet hollow-eyed, drifting alone through the humid midnight air of Southeast Asia. Now imagine the throat severed, not by a blade, but by a curse. Below that floating head, a dripping tangle of lungs, heart, and intestines sways like a grotesque jellyfish trailing its tentacles. This is no ghost in the classical sense. It is a thing of hunger and fire. You have heard of vampires that stalk the Carpathian mountains. You have seen werewolves that tear through the forests of Europe. But the Krasue is different. It does not walk. It does not cast a shadow. And when it feeds, it does so in absolute silence, hovering just above the ground, its organs brushing against the leaves like a whisper. To understand this creature is to step into the darkest corners of Thai, Lao, Cambodian, and Malay folklore. A corner where the body does not stay intact, and the soul pays for sins it never committed. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture a rural village at 2 in the morning. The stilt houses are dark. The only sound is the chirping of crickets and the distant croak of a paddy frog. Then a faint orange glow appears near the tree line. It flickers like a lantern carried by no one. This light is not fire from a torch. It is the digestive glow of a Krasue's stomach, burning with acid as it searches for blood. Farmers have reported seeing this light for centuries. They know to lock their doors and hide their pregnant wives, because the Krasue does not hunt for sport. It hunts for the life inside other lives. The legend begins with a woman. She is almost always described as beautiful, vain, or secretly cruel. In some versions she practices black magic to gain power over her community. In others she offends a forest spirit or breaks a sacred taboo. The curse transforms her from within. By day she looks like any other woman, perhaps a wife or a mother. She may even feel human emotions. But when night falls, her head detaches from her body, tearing the internal organs with it. The lower body remains behind, motionless and cold, like an empty dress abandoned on a mat. What makes the Krasue truly terrifying is not just its appearance, it is the method of feeding. The creature avoids bones and tough skin. It seeks soft, moist, living tissue. The favorite prey is a pregnant woman because the placenta is rich in blood and nutrients. The Krasue hovers over the sleeping victim, extends a long tongue like a proboscis, and sucks the blood from the womb without leaving a visible wound. The mother wakes up feeling weak, anemic, often dismissed as sickly. No one suspects a supernatural redditor until it is too late. You might ask yourself, how can such a creature exist in the modern world? In Thailand, stories of Krasue sightings persist even today. Rural hospitals have reported pregnant patients suffering from sudden, unexplained blood loss. Night guards on late shifts have filmed flickering lights in the trees. In 2018, a village in Burim province claimed that Krasue had been attacking livestock. The local shaman placed sharpened bamboo spikes around chicken coops because the creature, despite its ethereal nature, fears puncturing its exposed organs. One wrong move, and it could impale itself. That is the paradox of the Krasue. It is both spiritual and painfully physical. The origin stories vary across borders. In Laos, the Krasue is sometimes called Phai, Krasue, a type of Phai, or ghost. In Cambodia, it is known as Apa, which means a woman who practices sorcery to become rich. In Indonesia, a similar creature appears under the name Leok, though the Leok flies as a complete body of a head with trailing organs. The Malay version speaks of a penanggalan, which can stretch its neck and detach its head, but the Krasue remains the most vulnerable of these beings. Its organs are fragile. A single thorn from a lemon tree can kill it. A prayer recited backwards can make it fall from the sky. This vulnerability invites a question you have probably already asked. If it is so easy to stop, why does the legend survive? Consider the psychology of fear. The Krasue embodies anxieties that are universal yet deeply local. The fear of childbirth, of losing blood, of a predator that enters the home without opening the door. The fear that someone you know, a neighbor, a friend, even a family member, transforms into a monster when you are asleep. Because the Krasue cannot be identified by day. It lives among the living. It eats rice and smiles at children. And then it flies into the night trailing its own guts behind it. That dissonance is what keeps villagers whispering. Imagine you are lying on a bamboo mat. The heat is suffocating. A mosquito net surrounds you. Through the mesh you see a faint orange light moving outside the window. It pauses. You hear a wet, dragging sound, like raw meat being pulled across dry leaves. Then a face appears, upside down, looking at you from above. Its eyes are human but hungry. Its intestines hang just beyond the windowsill. You freeze because you remember the old story. Do not scream, do not move. The Krasue can sense fear. But it also cannot enter a room where sharp objects are placed under the bed. Scissors, knives, even a broken bottle will cut the organs as they drag across the floor. This brings us to the practical rituals of protection. Throughout the Malay Peninsula and the Isan region of Thailand, families place thorny branches around the house. The thorns must face outward. Some hang crushed garlic mixed with salt above the door. Others smear a paste of burnt rice and ash on the belly of pregnant women. The logic is consistent. The Krasue is repelled by anything that can tear its delicate flesh. In a strange way, the creature is a mirror. It is a monster that fears the same vulnerability it imposes on its victims. That irony is not lost on those who study folklore. But the Krasue is not evil in the way a demon is evil. It is more accurate to say it is cursed. Many versions of the legend describe the woman crying. When the head flies back to reunite with the body at dawn, it often weeps. It does not want to kill. It cannot stop. The curse forces the head to detach every night, driven by an insatiable craving for blood and raw meat. Some shamans claim they have spoken to captured Krasues. The creature begs for release, but there is no cure, only destruction or eternal hunger. You might be wondering by now, what happens to the body when the head leaves it? In most accounts, the torso remains completely still. It looks like a dead woman, pale and breathless. If someone discovers the body before dawn, they can hide it, move it, or even damage it. This is a common plot in Southeast Asian horror films. A husband wakes up, notices his wife's body sitting upright but cold, and he understands the truth. He then rolls the body into a different position. When the Krasue returns at sunrise, it cannot reconnect. The head panics. It rolls on the ground, searching. By the time the sun fully rises, the head perishes, and the curse ends. It is a brutal solution, but folklore rarely offers mercy. Now think about the geographical spread of this legend. The Krasue appears in Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, and even southern China among the Dai people. Each culture adds a detail. In Vietnam, the creature is called Ma Da. In some regions, it is believed that the Krasue can transform into a beautiful bird to approach its victims. In others, it hides inside hollow trees during the day, its organs stored inside a clay pot. This pot, if found, can be destroyed by fire. But be careful. Breaking the pot releases the head immediately, and it will be furious. These variations suggest a deep, ancient root, possibly predating Hindu-Buddhist influences in the region. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever woken up at 3 in the morning feeling a sudden drop in temperature? Have you ever felt that something was in the room with you, watching from the corner near the ceiling? Some folklorists argue that the Krasue legend arose to explain sleep paralysis, night terrors, and the phenomenon of sudden infant death syndrome. In rural societies without modern medicine, a baby dying overnight needed a cause. The Krasue provided one. A pregnant woman miscarrying after a healthy day needed a reason. The ghost with the hanging organs took the blame. This does not make the legend less frightening. It makes it more human. The visual grotesquerie of the Krasue has made it a favorite subject for modern horror media. Thai films like Krasue in Human Kiss 2019 and the sequel, In Human Kiss to 2022, have introduced the creature to international audiences. But those movies softened the horror. They romanticized the curse, adding love stories and tragic backstories. The real Krasue of oral tradition is not a sympathetic anti-hero. It is a stomach with teeth, a flying esophagus, a predator that has no off switch. When you watch those films, remember that the villagers who first told these stories did not root for the Krasue. They ran from it. From a cinematic perspective, the Krasue offers something rare. It is not a werewolf or a zombie, creatures that have become predictable. The Krasue is surreal. Its design breaks the human form in a way that feels both ancient and avant-garde. Imagine Salvador Dali collaborating with a Thai shadow puppet master. The trailing organs create a silhouette unlike anything in Western horror, and because the creature floats, it has no footsteps, no breathing, just the wet, dragging sound of viscera on bamboo leaves. That is pure nightmare fuel, and it is exactly why your thumbnail needs to capture that silhouette against a full moon. The behavior of the Krasue follows a strict nocturnal pattern. It emerges around midnight, peaks its hunting between 1 and 3 in the morning, and must return to its body before the first cock crows. If dawn catches the head still flying, it disintegrates. This time pressure makes the Krasue reckless. It will force itself through small gaps. It will tear mosquito nets. It has even been known to enter houses through the latrine hole, dragging its organs through filth to reach a pregnant woman in the bedroom. There is no dignity in the Krasue, only hunger and desperation. You might be tempted to dismiss all this as superstition, but consider the power of a shared nightmare. Millions of people across Southeast Asia, from the Mekong Delta to the highlands of Borneo, have independently described the same creature. Same floating head, same dangling organs, same method of feeding. That consistency suggests either a collective hallucination passed down for centuries or a genuine phenomenon that people are too afraid to name. Science has no explanation for the glowing lights seen over rice paddies at night. Locals call them Krasue fire. Outsiders call them swamp gas. But swamp gas does not have a face. Let us examine a documented case. In 2013, a security camera in a Thai village near Udon, Thani captured a strange light moving erratically above a pig pen. The next morning, 3 piglets were found dead with no external injuries. Their blood was gone. The local veterinarian said the piglets appeared exsanguinated, but there were no bite marks, no punctures, no signs of predation. The village elder performed a ritual that night, placing sharpened bamboo around the pen. The attack stopped. You can decide for yourself what happened, but the villagers have no doubt. The Krasue was hungry. Now imagine extending this into a series. You have already explored the ganglet of Indonesia, a small vampiric doll made of human tissue. The Krasue shares similarities with the ganglet. Both feed on blood. Both are linked to black magic and female practitioners. Both are small. The Krasue's head is roughly the size of a human head, but its organs can stretch several feet. Together, these creatures form a constellation of Southeast Asian horror that is largely unknown in the West. Your audience will not see a tired vampire trope. They will see something alien, something that bypasses rational thought and speaks directly to the primitive hindbrain. What can you do to protect yourself? According to the elders, The most effective defense is the thorny mimosa plant. Place it over doors and windows. Keep a pair of scissors under your pillow. And never, under any circumstances, sleep with your window facing a banyan tree. The Krasue rests inside the aerial roots during the twilight hours. If you hear a sound like wet cloth being wrung out, do not investigate. If you see an orange glow moving against the wind, do not follow it. And if you ever see a woman alone at a night market buying raw liver and beef blood, look at her neck. If there is a faint red line circling her throat, like a scar that never healed, turn around and walk away. Do not look back. The Krasue endures because it touches something real. The fear of losing control of your own body. The terror of a mother unable to protect her unborn child. The knowledge that evil can wear a kind face. You will forget this video in a week. But the next time you wake up at 3 in the morning, thirsty and disoriented, and you see a flicker of orange light outside your window, you will remember the head with the trailing intestines. You will pull the blanket over your mouth, and you will stay very, very still. That is the power of the Krasue. It does not need to exist to haunt you. It already lives in the space between folklore and fear. Stay watchful. Stay inside after midnight, and never assume that the face you see in the darkness is complete. Sometimes the most terrifying thing is not a monster. It is a human head still hungry, still drifting, still trailing pieces of itself behind. Good night. Lock your windows.
Did you like this mystery? And what is your theory? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, then like and share. I'm Merc, and I'll be waiting for you in the next mystery.